I was born to do this. And you know, when you get to live the purpose of your living, kya hai? What else do you want? I think your purpose of life is achieved. It's fulfilled. So we were technically a part of same movie, just different languages.
Yeah.
And then cut to we meet on the sets of Hi Nanna.
Yeah.
And we kind of actually manifested it on the last day of Sita Ramam. A success and a failure or a Friday evening changes the perspective of an artist. You know, वो बहुत दुखता है. And this year people were like, oh, it's this Hi Nanna is going to fail.
Love Sonia was so much critically acclaimed, but people did not take a note of it until you got some bigger projects and they got back to it. Does it come with that pinch of salt as well?
Yeah. क्या बोलूँ मैं?
You had a very fangirl kind of a moment when you met Daniel Radcliffe. How was that like? Because we have the Harry Potter generation.
All people are jealous and just
Obviously.
accept it. Someone called me Queen of Romance and I was like, what? I've only heard King of Romance. That's the one and only Shah Rukh Khan, sir.
You got a compliment from Allu Arjun, sir, for your performance. So are we manifesting a film there as well?
I think there's already in the news that I am doing some film with him.
Ananya said you had called her after Kho Gaye.
Ananya was really good in the movie and I couldn't stop myself, but she was on a holiday and I still called her up. I said, I don't care where you are, I just have to tell you you're so good.
You recently supported Ankita for Bigg Boss as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to win.
Okay, so my intro is gonna be a little longer because I have to share this story because I'm sitting with my next guest. The last time I interviewed her was for Pipa and the day the interview came out, the next day I got a call saying that Mrunal Thakur wants to speak with you. I was scared in my pants, like I didn't know what wrong have I done because usually the experience have taught me that celebrities only call you when you have written something bad or nasty about them. But she called me and when we spoke, it was to praise me, to appreciate my efforts and the conversation, the little connection that we built during that. That day I realized that she's an actress par excellence, but beyond that, she's a much better and much amazing human being. And there are stars you love and adore, you admire, but there are very few whom you feel a connection so personal that their success, their achievements, their failures, everything feels very personal and relatable. She's one of those people for me, and it was way before I had my first conversation with her. I'm very happy and excited as I'm here after a 2 years ki tapasya, as her team puts it. I'm here in a conversation with Mrunal Thakur. So firstly, welcome.
Thank you.
See, I told you it's going to be a little longer.
That's okay.
Intro. But I have to say, the love and adulation seems much deserved. And I've already told you how much I have cried and bawled watching the film. And I'm sure everyone has. The love and adulation that comes, does it overwhelm you? Because now, after Sita Ramam, it came. But this time, it's happening again.
Double bonanza.
Exactly. The first time when it happens, people can still say, okay, it's a one-trick pony or a one-time wonder. But when it happens again, you know you are on the right path. Does it overwhelm a little?
It is overwhelming, and it is beautiful that how these characters that I played, Yashna or Sita Mahalakshmi, are getting so much love and appreciation. And in fact, somebody told me they saw someone dressed up as Yashna today in Mumbai, outside with a nose pin, black sari, curly hair, and I'm like, wow, this is really good. This is really amazing. But having said that, I was born to do this. And you know, when you get to live the purpose of your living, kya hai? This is what I love doing. And if I'm getting to live those extraordinary moments on sets and just embrace these characters and, you know, get into the skin of the characters and meet beautiful people who are talented and just kind and passionate. What else do you want? I think your purpose of life is achieved. It's fulfilled.
I would use one line that Viraj Urf Nani has used in the line to describe her. That is heart-melting sight. I watched in Telugu, so English subtitle was that. I don't know what it actually means, but it was the English subtitle. And I would say that's so true because Mrunal Thakur in a black sari with a nose ring and the wet hair look is like unbeatable.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
I think it's a new definition of sexy. Like,
I think saris is always
saris
been sexy.
is always like.
But you have been a part of a film that was a remake of a Nani's film. From there to being a part of a film where you are alongside him.
So we were technically a part of same movie, just different languages.
Yeah.
And then cut to we meet on the sets of Hi Nanna.
Yeah.
And we kind of actually manifested it on the last day of Sita Ramam. There was a party which our producers threw, and Nani Garu was releasing their teaser of Ante. And that's where I met him, and I told him that would really like to work with you, and he said the same thing. And then cut to we're doing a next, and here we are.
Yeah. And like the first Telugu film you did was a blockbuster. Second one is working so well. Does it? Third one that you have signed is also with a huge person. So huge star, not huge person, sorry, huge star. But does it add also a little bit more responsibility because of the success streak that is going on? Does it become, as an artist, does it make you a little bit more responsible of the scripts you are choosing? Because now there is a certain expectations that people have built up because of the characters you have played and because of the part of the scripts that you have been. Does that kind of weigh in on you at a point?
No.
But
I mean, I remember I was sleeping peacefully the day Sita Ramam released. I'm like, एग्जाम दे दी है, अब जो रिजल्ट्स आएंगे वो, क्योंकि बदल तो नहीं सकते. And I got a call from Datkaru, our producer, and Datkaru is like my mentor and my father figure, and he's like literally any problem I have, I can just call him up and ask him. He called me and said, a film is a blockbuster. And I'm like, and I was asleep and I was like, what? And I was standing on the bed. I said, okay, that's great. But one night before the film released, and like the people around me said, how are you so calm? And I'm like, there's nothing that can be done because it's all sealed, it's all done. But in my head, I was little nervous about what's going to be my next, because everyone is like, Mrunal, you are ruined. Next, you have to be very careful of what you do. Then there were inhibitions about some people. Like some people I asked whether I should, what do you think about this film? Should I do it or not? They're like, why are you doing it? It's mom's role. It's whatever, it's aging. But I'm like, something within me, my instinct told me that if there is anyone who can, I'm not saying beat Sita Mahalakshmi, but at least if they can be in the same graph, if it can be better, it's great, but it can't be below.
And I think if someone tells you that this is not the kind of role you should do, you will always do that because you have been doing that. I don't think anyone would have imagined that you would make your Hindi film debut with a film like Love Story.
I mean, how would they know what's my shoe, how comfortable it is until they wear it themselves? Like you can't decide for anyone else what is good for you, what is bad for you. I mean, my mother fed me almonds till up until last year. Only when I did a test and I discovered that I'm allergic to almonds, and that's the first thing I'm eating. I said, that is, if I learned that, I think it's very important for you to understand in your career as well what works for you and what doesn't work for you, because what may work for you may not work for me. And I think the easier and the faster you understand that, the easier it is for you to lead your life ahead.
Yeah.
But having said that, I'm talking about expectations, the word. I do not have expectations. I mean, from people also, from my relatives or my friends or my family or for the people I love, because what happens is, and I have had expectations a lot, and trust me, I'm not a pro max yet, but I'm working. I'm trying not to have as many expectations as I should or as I am. That's only because what happens is when you do something for a person, you in return expect them to do certain things for you, but you cannot have that expectations from them. So talking about my audience also, I just want them to be true to me. If they like something, it's okay, great, appreciate, but I don't want them to appreciate something that's not nice. Just don't watch it because I'm in it. Yeah. So I'm doing my job because I love doing it. And there will be days where I did a film called Love Sonia, which really did well critically, but commercially it didn't. But does that mean that I didn't give my 100%? So what matters is वो फिल्म रिलीज होने से पहले आप कौन हो, और वो फिल्म रिलीज होने के बाद आप तब भी वही इंसान है. So that should not change, because a success and a failure or a Friday evening changes the perspective of an artist. वो बहुत दुखता है. And I think the lightly some people have different approach, but my approach is कि एक बार फिल्म आपने शूट कर दी फिर कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
And you got that reality check last year as well.
Last year, and this year people were like, "Oh, it's this Hi Nanna is going to fail."
Please let me tell those people, go shut your mouth.
No, but it's
I am a huge supporter.
Yeah. But listen, like I honestly don't want to get into all that because I don't want to invest my energy in something which is not bringing me happiness. My happiness is propagating plants at home, growing them out of seeds, being a part of a script which gives me a lot of joy to be in front of cameras and work with talented bunch of actors and musicians and directors and technicians. I think that's my purpose of living. That's it. That's all I want. I want to contribute to the Indian cinema.
Yeah, and somewhere Hi Nanna is also about second chances. So if you have to think about something in your life that you would want a second chance at, maybe do it better or maybe do it again, not just better, it could be just to do it again, what would that thing be for you?
I wish I was not so hard on myself when I was growing up. I'm talking about my teenage days. It would be, I would just like, there were days where I would be so confused as to what the hell is going on. You know, why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I like changing 11 schools? At that time, I would be like, no, please, I would not talk to people. But today, I was very hard. I wish I enjoyed that journey.
Yeah.
That was actually my preparation for today. If I wouldn't have changed so many schools, not because I was a brat, my dad was a government employee and hence the transferable job. But today, I appreciate that I stayed in so many states, so many towns, so many districts, like there were rural areas as well. That time I used to stay in Srirampur. Nobody know about it. Yavatmal, nobody knows. Like at that time, they didn't know where it is. Where is Srirampur on the map? Like it's somewhere close to Ahmednagar. And I was so hard on myself then, but today I feel that, oh my God, I can speak different types of Marathi, different types of Hindi, different types of, I learned Malayalam when we used to stay in Alapura. So that's one thing I would like to change. I wish I just enjoyed it as a kid and was not so worried about what people are thinking. Are they judging me? Yeah.
The day you learn that, please teach me as well. A lot has.
There's a lot to learn, and there's only certain chain of episodes in your life that teaches you that. It only comes with experience.
But I told you that your successes also feel relatable and personal. It fills me with pride when I see that everyone is coming out appreciating you. But somewhere for you personally, does it also come with a pinch of salt in a way that you had been working hard for a long time and you had been giving your all. But this recognition, the widespread recognition and acceptance came only after the success tag also came with your project. Before, just like you said, Love Sonia was so much critically acclaimed, but people did not take a note of it until you got some bigger projects and they got back to it. Does it come with that pinch of salt as well?
Yeah. क्या बोलूं मैं? You should probably ask the audience because some people reached out to me saying that why the hell Hi Nanna is not in Mumbai? Why don't we get to watch the movie in the theatres? And they tried booking. There was only one show, 2 shows, whatever. But again, as an artist, I can't really do anything about it. I don't know how it works. One day I would love to. And but having said that, pinch of salt मतलब अभी क्या ही नमक डाल लो स्वाद अच्छा होगा बस ज़्यादा डाल दिया वो भी खराब हो जाएगा कम है तो better है so
but on a lighter note, like you had a very fangirl kind of a moment when you met Daniel Radcliffe. How was that like? Because we have the Harry Potter generation.
You all people are jealous and just
obviously,
accept it.
Obviously, very jealous.
मजा आया मुझे बहुत मजा आया उससे मिलके अरे I love watching Broadway shows, and I asked my team, I said, would you guys like to come join me for Simba? And they're like, no. I said, okay. मरो सालो मैं तो जा रही हूँ तुम लोग होटल में बैठना मैं तो जा रही हूँ. I went with my sister. I stepped out of the show and I'm walking on the streets of New York. And I love that. Like you could just walk on the streets. Suddenly I look up and I see Daniel Radcliffe. I didn't even see what show it was or what was playing. I said, Daniel Radcliffe. I looked down and I was like, Daniel Radcliffe? My sister's like, what happened? I said, that's Daniel Radcliffe. She said, no, you crazy hallucinating person. She said something, okay? I didn't pay attention to it. I removed my phone and I just like, is it okay for me to record something? Because in my head, I don't really appreciate when people just randomly start recording me. So I was like, is it? So that hit me at that point of time. And I said, Daniel, we love you. And he just turned and said, oh, thank you. And I was like, it's him. It's him. I disconnected. I stopped recording the video, put it down, and there were two Indian Telugu girls behind. It's like, oh my God, we love you. I said, you can't say that in front of him. It's his show. It was so funny. And then those two girls, so while we were waiting in the queue, and he was so kind enough to come and greet each and every fan of his and give them their autograph and was asking where they're from, what they do. While we were waiting, those two girls, those Telugu girls were like, is it okay if I just FaceTime my mom? She really loves you. I said, listen, we can do it, but just let him go first because I don't want to hog all his attention. It's his show. And it was so interesting that when I had a conversation with him, it was a small, quick conversation. I was just this fangirl, and now I know what it truly means when my fans come meet me. Like, totally, like, mesmerized. And I just told him, like, look, listen, immense respect because you shoot in front of the green screen, and sometimes, you know, you have to just visualize and imagine things. And what it looks after the effect, the VFX and all, everything is just breathtaking. And he said, oh, thank you so much. And I was like, that's a massive amount of, efforts that you guys take. And I would really like to share my screen space with you. And I work in India and I'm also an actor. It's like, oh, lovely. That's so nice to meet you. And one day that happens soon. So it was a short conversation, quick one. And I just got really happy to get that picture. And I was like...
manifesting that film, let me just say, manifesting that very strongly.
Yeah.
And also, let's just say, suck you to your team who did not go with you. They missed out on it.
They were like, their face became itna सा चेहरा हो गया था. मैंने कहा कुत्तों मरो तुम.
और मत सुनो. But
they were so jealous.
like he has his own genre. Like today in the industry, we see people are striving towards creating those big spectacles, action spectacles, thinking that it would bring in the audience. Hey, you have come with two, I think both of them can't be separated. Like for me, when Mrunal's name comes, Sita Ramam and Hi Nanna, both will come together. So you have become like a face of romance today. And in this whole action dominated world, you are kind of creating your own space and creating a niche for yourself. Like you have become a face of it, being known for it. Does it feel a little sense of pride, a little sense of validation for you?
Someone called me Queen of Romance, and I was like, what? I've only heard King of Romance. That's the one and only Shah Rukh Khan, sir. And they said, Queen of Romance. I said, hold on, are you sure about it?
The best
Am I hearing? That's like the best compliment ever. And then someone is like, हाँ, national crushes तो crush होते रहते हैं, रोज नए national crushes बनते हैं, but you are the Queen of Romance. And I felt like, this is sweet. This is really the best compliment ever.
You know, my interviews with you can't be like interviews. It has to be conversation. Yeah. I have to just say, one thing I observed is that when your chemistry is with a Dulquer or a Nani, it has a certain sense of tehrav in it. You see a certain calmness in you, which your chemistry with the Hindi film heroes are also excellent, but they have a little more aggression, I feel. Where do you feel there's a certain sense of calmness in South that kind of delves into those actors and that kind of comes across as well when you...
I think it's the directors. It's the treatment. It's the build-up. It's also what the characters feel for each other. Because if you know, like Sita loves Ram and Ram loves Sita, it's okay. But you don't know how much Ram loves Sita and how much she loves him. If that is put across, then प्यार तो है, पर कितना है, क्या शिद्दत है, मतलब what is that thing, you know, like she waited all her lifetime to hear from him. I mean, that's pretty insane, right? Like that can only be translated with the shots and the build up and the storyline. I think we need more scripts like this which would allow performance. I mean, there are so many performers who do not shine or don't get an opportunity to shine just because the character is sirf upar se written. There's no like depth. Sometimes you feel the heart and soul of that character was missing. So I think the writing plays an important role. The camera work plays an important role. Usually जब film release होती है तो सारा श्रेय actors लेके चले जाते हैं. But let's just take a moment and appreciate the filmmakers, the producers, the production designers, the music composers, the lyricists, the people who write lyrics. Oh my God. Anant Sriramji, who wrote our lyrics, is so beautiful. He wrote for Sita Ramam, for Hi Nanna, and now he's writing Family Star also. I'm like, sir, you're my lucky charm.
He's your lucky charm. You are his lucky charm. I feel.
I don't know.
We're working both ways. But one thing I really like about you is that you are very aware of where you stand, and you take pride in your successes. But you also are rooted. You don't let it sway you away and kind of take you on a certain platform. Does it sometimes becomes challenging to stay that grounded because of the voices around you?
No. It's not challenging at all. I think if you know who you truly are, you don't have to pretend to be someone. I mean, sometimes what happens is you'll pretend to be someone, but for how long? 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 day, 3 days, you'll start feeling suffocated. So, when I go back home, I'm still my father's daughter. I'm not an actor who's Mrunal Thakur. If there is a kachra in the house, I'll still have to jhadu it because there is kachra in the house. I mean, it doesn't matter who you truly are. And my dad just looks at me and they're like, you don't have to do all these things. I said, Papa, it's my house I live in. And when there are guests and when the guest sees me do all these things, they're like, I said, excuse me, what? Like what?
It's my house.
Like, it's grounded. I said, don't say that and make me feel nervous now anymore. So, but trust me, look, there are a lot of voices. There will always be voices around you. I think you just need to hear what you want to do, what you want to feel, and what are your aims and ambitions. And it's basically, I believe in energy vampires. You know, there are few people who just drains your energy, like for no reason. And I just be like, I think that's maturity. Maturity is when you know that this is an energy vampire and you just stay away from that person or that comment or that social networking site or something like that. I think the quicker you draw those boundaries, which truly defines who you are, the better it is to be calmer, aware and alert, and at the same time live your life.
Yeah. And everyone needs to learn that. But you got a compliment from Allu Arjun sir for your performance. So are we manifesting a film there as well?
I think there's already in the news that I am doing some film with him. That's unfortunately not confirmed. I mean, I haven't received any query like that. But I think these fans are the ones who put all these combinations, like this actor and this actress would look really nice together, and then they start manifesting, then it starts happening. So yeah, let's manifest. And he's a fantastic performer. I'm looking forward. The Pushpa 2 का वो एक poster देख के सब हिल गए यार. I mean, imagine what the film is going to be like.
True.
And to have received compliments from him really means the world to me because I really look up to his performances and I like how he would just add to the character. And a big thank you to all those people who have written such lovely things about Yashna, about Viraj, and about our little Mahi.
She is like adorable.
Like, she's my first child. Like, whenever I'll have my child of my own, that'll be second. She's my first child. Like, and I literally had her when I had this maternal instinct, like so strong. Like, you know, when you look at that child and be like, okay, this is what makes me want to be a mother. Like, it made me feel like I want to have a child and it has to be like Kiara. And her upbringing is so beautiful. I was so blessed to work with such talented actors on sets of Hi Nanna. You know, we have Angad Garu doing the debut, and what an impactful debut.
Yeah. after love stories to
Yeah,
Head,
and
like
yeah, it's
the
a
pairing
second
continues.
together. And Shilpa Toraskar, who I did my first show, Khamoshi for one of the leading GEC channels, and then we all met here again, and it's her first Telugu film, and so I was like, I'm the senior one here.
Yeah, now you are the senior.
But it was nice to reunite, and Jairam sir was a part of this film, and he was so beautiful in the movie as well. Everyone, Darshi Garu, and everybody was performed so. So for them, this is like our film.
Yeah.
ये अपनी film है, और they're like क्या करना है मुझे बताओ. So everyone is like so aligned, and it's a beautiful journey.
So everyone is in sync. Lastly, I just wanted to say that, like Allu sir complimented you. I was reading that Ananya said you had called her after Kho Gaye.
Oh yeah,
and
she was so good in the movie.
We are living in a time where people are coming out and supporting each other. There was a time where that seemed impossible. Does it make you a little bit happy and content that you are living in a time where people don't shy away from coming out and supporting each other? Be it in the space of work, like also in the space like you recently supported Ankita for Bigg Boss as well.
Yeah, and I wanted to win.
I think everyone
And
does. All of
so
us
strong.
with TV watching audience.
Yeah.
But when you
I'll tell you something. You know, when I like something, I like to appreciate it, because that's what allows those people to perform better in their lives, in their career. And when I watched Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, it did make me realize that, oh my God, I need to block, unmute so many people in my life. Mute, not unmute, just mute. And I called up Arjun, the director of the movie. It's his first film. He's 29 years old. And everybody was so fantastic. Sid was so good. I spoke to him for 45 minutes, and I kept telling him that how important it is to resonate with the character. And he so while I'm like talking about Kho Gaye Hum Kahan, he's talking about Sita Ramam, like films like these. So it's so nice that we are in a space where we are discussing movies. And Ananya was really good in the movie, and I couldn't stop myself. But she was on a holiday, and I still called her up. I said, I don't care where you are, I just have to tell you, you're so good. But apart from that, I think today people say that publicity and everything is what the most important thing is when it comes to a movie. But I think what is important is the film. If you like it, I just want to say, if you really like it, it is my request to please put it out and let people know, because this film deserves a lot of love and respect, and it truly deserves the validation as well, and some business also. Please, नहीं तो producers मेरे को काम नहीं देंगे.
ऐसा तो नहीं होगा.
नहीं, I'm just telling you, because people don't like now, if they have to cast me also, they have to think twice, क्योंकि मैं if am I bringing the audience to the theatre?
True, but I feel this all comes from a place of security, and it's great to see that people are secure enough today that much.
But don't make me so insecure enough to not do good films and choose films which has no meaning. So please, guys, it's you. आप decide करिए.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Pooja Meri Jaan, because I've seen the excitement you have for that film. So I'm sure that's gonna also open a lot of doors. Mrunal, I already told you why this conversation was a little more special to me, and
yes.
Thank you for making it that way.
Thank you. And
I just think no matter how much time they would have given me, it would never have been enough to have a conversation with you. This was our first one-on-one conversation, and I'm hoping first of many to follow. You will always be special to me, and your achievements will always feel personal. Thank you so much, and wishing you lots and lots of love and luck. And I made it without crying. I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
But this is a beautiful Hello Nandan to Hi Nanna.
Yeah, the journey from Hello Nandan to Hi Nanna. But thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Mrunal Thakur, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.